Hello, this is Greg with Music to My Ear, and today I want to go over some records that have come out in the last couple weeks because there's been a lot of them, a lot of really, really good records, if you may have seen. So first, I just want to kind of get us caught up. I'll go over the records that came out last week, and then we'll get into what's coming out this week. So on the jazz docket, we have Andrew Hill, Tone Poet series, fantastic sounding. This has been pretty popular from last week. A couple folks specifically came in to seek this one. Also, Bill Evans has a couple of OJC releases. Both sound fantastic if you're a Bill Evans fan. It has that Bill Evans sound to it. So certainly we have a couple copies of these left. They've been popular. Come in and check those guys out. If you are familiar with Wicked, this is Cynthia Erivo. This is her new album. So this is going to be releasing. Come check this guy up and really popular. Also, Doobie Brothers, they're releasing a new record, Walk the Road. So we're going to have that in stock. And then Steely Dan, they've reissued The Royal Scam, which is also going to be coming on UHQR. So look for this guy. They do have a regular, this version, not UHQR. Sounds fantastic, actually. Customer bought this the other day. We had it playing on the record. Really, really, really well done. Also, Isaac Hayes, for any Isaac Hayes fans out there, if you're a fan of funk, soul, R&B, they released Stack's Greatest Hits. So I'm a big fan of Isaac Hayes. This has a lot of good songs on it. A lot of songs you may know from currently hip hop, whatnot, have actually been sampled from Isaac Hayes if you don't know who he is. So certainly check that out. Primus, this is one of their early albums, releasing Frizzle Fry, if you're a Primus fan. Les Claypool, if you know who he is, a bass player, one of the best in the world. That's out. This certainly worth noting. Sergei Shalov, this has been a very popular record. It's a mono record. And because of the popularity, I picked it. I didn't really know what it was. I picked it up and I wanted to kind of see what all the hoopla was about. So first things right away is it has that tenor sax sound, very, very raw recording, if you will. But also, if you notice, it has Leroy Vinegar on bass. And a lot of times they'll record him more along the lines of like Ray Brown and very plucky. This album has that attribute. So that's why this is, people have been going after this one. We have several copies of this in stock. Let's come see us on that. Dire Straits 40th anniversary, Brothers in Arms box set. So, you have the studio album, but then you also have San Antonio Live in 1985. They're doing this on 180 gram vinyl. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms always sounds good. So no doubt this is going to follow suit of that. So those are the ones from last week. We'll get these ones out of the way. Let's skip over to here. We have a couple box sets that are coming out this week. So for all of the Gen Xers, Richard Pryor, that's going to be coming out, 6 of his studio albums. If you remember sneaking into the attic with the Richard Pryor record, you can relive those childhood days. This is a fantastic collection. Stupendously funny. If you've never heard of Richard Pryor, for the younger crowd, certainly go look them up. And then Metallica, they're coming out with the Load box set. So obviously the album Load, I totally forgot about this album when they re-released this. One of the first things I did when I saw it, I put on Hero of the Day. It was one of my favorite songs back in the day, and I totally forgot about that one. But lots of unreleased material on here as well. So we do have one of these in stock. If you're a fan of Metallica, this is definitely a good box set. Lots of unreleased material in there. So off with the regular records for new release wise. Brian Eno, he's going to be coming out with a new instrumental album. So definitely, if you're into the ambient style music, look for that guy. He's the best there is at it. Van Morrison, a lot of people have been excited about this one. It's a lot of people have been describing it as the old school style of Van Morrison. Lots of excitement around this one. We have a good bit of copies of stock in that one. Ozzy Osbourne, he's going to be bringing out Scream. So still going. So for all the Ozzy Osbourne fans, come check that out. Grateful Dead. This is a nice greatest hits collection. Very affordable, but it has a lot of the songs, the mainstream songs that people would want to hear. If you're not a giant Grateful Dead fan and you just know trucking and things like that, this is a good record actually for that purpose. Josh Groban, Gems, he's got a new release coming out as well. We'll have that in stock. Pulp, if you remember Pulp from the 90s, they have a new album coming out, More. So definitely check that out. It's going to be streaming as well. I've heard a couple songs on it. It's classic Pulp. Supreme, excuse me if I mispronounce that, but Ghostface Killah, he's going to be coming out with a new release as well. And then The Cure, this is going to be a collection of mixes and kind of like a lost album, if you will. So check this guy out. If you're a Cure fan, then you have Lush Life, Seth MacFarlane doing the Lost Sinatra arrangements. This is extremely well recorded for those fans of Sinatra and the old Reprise label, whatnot, that has that quality of recording to it. Lifeguard, we have this guy coming out as well. You got Dierks Bentley. He's going to be releasing an album, Broken Branches. Snow White, they're going to be bringing out the soundtrack of that. Buckcherry, they have a new album. So then also, obviously not new, but going to be first time on vinyl, The Outsiders for the musical. And then finally, Roland Kirk. This guy, so if you don't know who he is, if you see on the picture, he has 3 saxophones in his mouth. That's actually what he was known for. This album has a crazy sound to it. So if you're in the jazz, you like the audiophile sound quality, this is definitely one to pick up from Acoustic Sounds. Very unique. So on with the reissues. And as you can see, there's a lot of releases, as I said. One of my favorite records, actually, if you know who Peter Green is, this is the guy from Fleetwood Mac. If you're a funk guy, this is an extremely funky album, done on the Music on Vinyl label. Sounds wonderful, all analog. I definitely come in and check this guy. You can listen to it digitally to see what I mean. It's a great album. Nickelback, they're reissuing, I should say, No Fixed Address. Faces, I'm sorry, the Nickelback's actually a new release album. The Faces, they're reissuing this on the Rhino label, giving it the audiophile treatment. And same deal with Alice Cooper. So those are both going to be coming out this Friday. Metallica Load, as we spoke of, they're going to have a reissue regular version on top of the box set. So definitely come and check that guy out. Then you have Wu-Tang Clan, Black Samson, Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky. This guy here, Slightly Stupid. For those fans who don't know who this is actually a 20th anniversary reissue. If you know who Sublime is, very Sublime sounding, but if you don't know who they are, go look them up. Anybody I've ever shown Slightly Stupid, they love them. This is a great album. The album you would want from them is this album. We have a couple in stock, so come check this out. Vanilla Fudge, they're redoing reissue. This is a mono reissue. And then we have Big Hits Live from Willie Nelson, Haggard and Price on the same album. Got Saxon's got a reissue on the MOV label. For all the new kids on the block fans, they're going to be reissuing this first time in 35 years on vinyl. So I thought I'd never have to relive those days, but here we go. And then Skid Row, if you remember 18 in Life and Counting, that's this record here. They're reissuing this guy. Small Faces, again, another Small Faces reissue, but hit single collection on that guy. And then Great White, a reissue of the best of, I'm sorry, White Lion, not Great White, White Lion. Landis Morissette, Music on Vinyl reissue as well. If you're not familiar with Music on Vinyl, they always sound fantastic. So there's some of the best versions of the album. And then right here, your final released for the week for the reissues. So lots going on, like I said. As you can see, we have records piled all over the place. Come and see us. A lot of these guys will be releasing coming up. And then some of the other guys, as we mentioned, has already been out on the floor. Lots of good sounding stuff. Come see us here, 3003 Babcock Boulevard. And thanks again for listening to the music.